The latest updates on all of Elon Musk's projects. And if you've been paying attention, he's been making some headlines lately. There's also new US flying and ground autonomous military robots, new robots for stores, robot transformers, and the most interesting scientific and coolest Halloween videos we saw from a robotics company. All of this in today's one very packed episode. Let's get going. The Tesla Optimus robot. Tesla began to post small videos about the robot Optimus so that fans of the company don't forget about the robot. The company recently published a new short with members of the team working on the robot, and also released a video where the foot actuator of the Tesla bot lifts a piano weighing half a ton. We look forward to this presentation of the new version of the robot, and by the way, we told you about the company's current robot advances, and you can find that right here at the link in the tip. The Boring Company is testing the Hyperloop. The Boring Company announced that it's begun testing of its famous Hyperloop, which has not yet been provided many details, and unlike past tests, it's assumed that the tunnel will now have a vacuum which is necessary for the system to work. In theory, the rare field air in the tube should help the vehicle accelerate up to 1,000 kilometers per hour, and other companies building similar systems are designing special pods for them, but Elon has decided to use his own electric cars. SpaceX launched the Falcon Heavy with a secret cargo. SpaceX launched the world's most powerful operational rocket, the Falcon Heavy, and it went into space for the first time in 3 years. As far as that secret cargo, it is classified, but what we do know is that there's 2 satellites that are launched into high-altitude geostationary orbit, and that means they will orbit at the same speed as the Earth and cover a given area of space. One of the satellites is the Tetra 1 microsatellite built by Millennium Space Systems, a Boeing subsidiary. SpaceX will launch Starship. Some of the most exciting news from the week from Elon Musk was that SpaceX will launch Starship into Earth's orbit in early December, and in this flight, if it takes place, the company will test the entire Starship system for the first time. Remember, it includes a 70-meter Super Heavy launch vehicle and a 50-meter Starship spacecraft. According to the plan, the Super Heavy booster will return to Earth after the launch, and the Starship will make a 90-minute orbital flight before entering the Earth's atmosphere and crashing dozens of miles off the Hawaiian coast. But also keep in mind that this test and orbit are necessary for SpaceX to fulfill their contract with NASA to create a lunar landing module as part of the Artemis program. And to fulfill it, Musk needs not only a working system, but also established production of new engines, Raptor 2, which just 3 months ago went into the volume of 1 engine per day. SpaceX is also hard at work preparing an orbital storage facility for cryogenic fuel, which is a second challenge. Do you think the Starship will actually fly in December? There's lots of pushbacks on these, so let us know in the comments. Destroying cockroaches with a laser? Let's get back to more lifelike topics. Have you had cockroaches in your home or workplace? Well, engineers from France and Great Britain decided to deal radically with these small pests. They trained a neural network to find insects and destroy them with a laser. This automated device consists of 2 cameras, a Jetson Nano single-board computer, a 1.6-watt laser, and a moving mirror that deflects the laser beam and sends it right to the target. During the operation, the device analyzes data from the cameras using the YOLO V4 neural network, pre-trained to detect cockroaches in the frame, and after it's detected, the device calculates the location and sends the appropriate commands to the laser. This showed that the location accuracy is 1 centimeter of a distance at 10 meters. And in addition, the engineers were able to discourage cockroaches from hiding by exposing them to low-power lasers. What do you think of this solution? Are you looking for a roach blaster? Well, you found one. The robot order picker from Toyota Research Institute. Over at TRI, whose developments in the field of home robots we've talked about plenty before in the past, they've got a new direction they're heading. As developers explained, the idea is that robots should improve the quality of daily life for everybody, and to achieve this, they identified challenging tasks that are interesting to work on. Another of them was autonomous order fulfillment in grocery stores. These challenges are particularly a good way to stimulate the development of mobile manipulative capabilities because it involves many complex tasks for robots, including perceiving and manipulating large numbers of objects, navigating in an ever-changing environment, and responding to unexpected circumstances. A self-cleaning robotic toilet. Bathroom cleaners rejoice. Because the researchers at the University of Tokyo have created a toilet that cleans itself. The system was developed for the Future Convenience Store Challenge competition organized by the World Robotics Summit. This development requires no personal involvement and ensures constant level of cleanliness. From the duration of cleaning, the toilets are automatically lifted, opening access to the floor cleaning mechanisms, and special tools with water-absorbent sheets wipe the floor, the room walls, and the toilet bowl walls. Cleaning is done simultaneously in all directions. While one rag cleans the walls, another wipes the toilet and the bowl rim. The scientists estimate that cleaning takes only 20 seconds and can be done between every 2 visitors. But what's cool is this toilet can automatically adjust to accommodate men in size differences by raising or lowering itself to the zipper area. That's pretty cool. Sikorsky Black Hawk autonomous missions. The Sikorsky Black Hawk helicopter autonomously performed demonstration cargo and rescue missions. Operators were not on board and did not accompany the mission remotely. The Autonomous Flight Test Series was a part of the Army's Project Convergence 2022 experiment, in which US, British, and Australian service members evaluated 300 new technologies, including long-range weapons, unmanned aerial systems, autonomous combat vehicles, and next-gen sensors. The demonstration used the standard UH-60A Black Hawk, which was upgraded by Sikorsky and DARPA's Flight Crew Automation System, or ALIAS, DARPA incorporating Sikorsky Matrix autonomy technology. This transformed the helicopter into a fully automated aircraft that can take care of key pre-flight procedures, takeoff and landings, and the flight itself. During the test, the Matrix took full control of the helicopter and flew 136 kilometers at 185 kilometers per hour, hunkering down in a valley at 60 meters to avoid detection. The Black Hawk was then equipped with a 12-meter suspension holding an external load of 1,200 kilograms and then took back off. After about 30 minutes of flight, the ground operator ordered the helicopter to move to a new location, drop the load, and wait for the wounded mannequin to be loaded on board in a stretcher. Once up in the air again, the Black Hawk headed for the medical station while the BatDoc health monitoring device integrated with the helicopter's communication system monitored the conditions of the simulated casualty and transmitted vitals back to the medical team in real time. The new TRX Breacher military robot. According to New Atlas, the U.S. Army is contracted with Cybernet, a specialist in robotics and autonomous navigation, to create robotic burglars. More precisely, the company's developing a robotic application that will be installed on Breacher assault vehicles. The Assault Breacher vehicle remote control system is a tracked engineer sapper vehicle designed to traverse minefields and difficult obstacles. The new concept proposed by General Dynamics Land Systems is called the TRX Breacher, and the company said the 10-ton tracked robot will support the Army's desire to use autonomous vehicles for boring, dirty, and dangerous missions. The company said the robotic burglar is capable of keeping up with formations and can be transported on a CH-47 Chinook cargo helicopter, as well as C-130s. The first prototypes are scheduled for delivery in the second quarter of the fiscal year 2024. AUV underwater drones from Anduril. The Australian Navy decided to get an underwater military drone the size of a bus and invested $100 million in their idea for 3 units. The best part is that Anduril's XL AUV will not be waterproof. The XL AUV is positioned as a durable, multifunction platform that can be equipped with all sorts of gear sent in a wide range of military and non-military missions, things like reconnaissance, infrastructure inspection, surveillance, and targeting. To speed up the construction time, it may make vehicles cheaper, and the company decided to use a so-called wet hull, which is free to pass water. The key systems inside will be sealed on their own much smaller waterproof modules, and while this makes individual components more difficult to penetrate, it's much cheaper to build several small rugged enclosures than one large one, and if one of them fails, only the equipment in that module will be damaged. Robots use humans as sensors. Engineers at Stanford and Illinois have trained robots to use humans to detect obstacles. The robots analyze the trajectories of people and draw conclusions about hidden obstacles along the route. In other words, humans have become mere sensors for the robots. As one of the authors explained, the developers first presented the robot's environment as a bird's-eye view map. On the map, occupied cells are marked. This forms a system of obstacles around the robot and creates optimal routes. And as it learns, the robot tries to find that optimal route by orienting itself to moving and static obstacles and building a map as it goes. Startolaunch tested an airliner to launch the hypersonic Talon-A. Startolaunch conducted a test flight of the world's largest airliner that will be able to launch a small hypersonic aircraft from wing while in flight. The launch vehicle, the Rock, consists of two joined hulls that has a total wingspan of 117 meters. And for this idea, it's going to take off, climb to an altitude of 10 kilometers, and release the Talon-A vehicle, capable of moving at speeds exceeding Mach 5 and land independently back on Earth. Unmanned cars blinded by lasers. Researchers at Michigan found a vulnerability in unmanned cars. They were able to hide pedestrians in crosswalks and other obstacles from robot cars by using synchronized lasers pointing at the LiDAR system. This exposure creates a blind spot in front of the car. The remote data makes the cars think that the road is safe and possibly continuing the route, and as a result, all objects located in the blind spot are now in danger. The LiDAR works by emitting laser light and capturing reflections to calculate distances, in the same way that a bat would use echolocation as sound echoes. The attack creates false reflections, and the system can be configured to pick up only false signals, ignoring incoming information about the real obstacle. And during the experiments, the researchers managed to remove data on both static and moving objects. And at the same time, an unmanned car actually continued moving, ignoring pedestrians while receiving a false signal. Scientists believe that this vulnerability could be fixed with a small software update that would teach the system to detect and ignore fake laser signals. Invisibility sweaters versus AI. Invisibility sweaters versus AI. Sensors, like artificial intelligence in general, are easy to fool. For example, machine learning engineers at the University of Maryland have come up with a sweater print that makes a person invisible to facial recognition systems. To create the print, the developers used an adversarial attack, a way to trick a neural network into giving an incorrect result. A special pattern for competitions was generated using a large set of training images. Each time the system detected a person, the data was revised to see how much the pattern reduced the object's score. Eventually, the adversarial pattern was improved to the point where it interfered with human recognition. Four-legged robots learn to walk on two legs. Researchers from Worcester Polytechnic Institute in Massachusetts and the Shanghai University of Technology have presented a method to turn a four-legged robot into a two-legged one. It involves clever software and a slight modification of the robot's hind legs. What makes it unique is that according to developers, the method is suitable for any four-legged robot, and the mechanical enhancement is a 3D printed stick that's placed on the tibia of each of the robot's hind legs. This provides extra support so that the robot can stand and walk with confidence. Without the shin, the robot would not be statically stable. This is especially useful when the robot stands up, as it enters its center of mass is fully supported during the process. Once the robot moves to an upright position, algorithms simulate a suitable gait style and transfer it to reality. Honda unveiled an ultra-compact robot car. Honda unveiled prototypes of an ultra-compact robot car that will be able to transport 1 to 4 people independently around the city. The most surprising thing about the development is that the drones won't rely on maps for navigation. All they will have is a main stereo camera that points along the course of travel, and 6 auxiliary ones around the perimeter. The artificial intelligence gathers this data and recognizes not only obstacles but other road users with the help of these images, and builds routes with the use of navigational maps. At the beginning of the test, it will retain the ability to set the direction of the prototypes at the intersection with a joystick, but from the pedal cars will get rid of soon enough, having learned automatically to reduce the speed before the intersection, and this will be possible to go on a trip simply by pressing a button on the touch panel in the cabin. The electric cars will reach a maximum speed of 15 kilometers per hour and have enough range for 20 or 30 kilometers, and this is normal because the car is designed only for short trips and should not be competing with conventional cars. Yo-yo cars printed on a 3D printer. In Russia, electric cars Yo-yo of Chinese automobile concern XEV will go on sale, but most of their components are printed on a 3D printer. Yo-yo, measuring 2.5 by 1.5 meters, is equipped with a battery with 3 removable blocks, giving it a total range of 150 kilometers. The maximum speed of the electric car is 80 kilometers per hour, and according to the manufacturer, the high-strength steel ensures the safety of the electric car in accordance with European standards. There's a touchscreen in the interior with a panoramic roof, and all key parameters of the vehicle can be controlled remotely through an application on a smartphone. Cargo drones from Evocardo. Unmanned electric trucks Evocardo began their work at Marvel Logistics, and now the robot cars transport goods between remote warehouse terminals in a city near Moscow. The Evo-1 unmanned platform from Evocardo is an electric vehicle with a payload capacity of up to 2 tons, with the possibility of increasing the payload to 3 tons. A single battery charge lasts for 200 kilometers. A standard charge takes 6 hours, but the quick charge system of the truck can be recharged in just 40 minutes. So far, the drone is moving at speeds of up to 25 kilometers per hour. China has completed the Tiangong space station. China has completed its national Tiangong orbital station by docking the third and last module. It's not yet in place, and it will be moved later to a side port to form the station's T-shaped configuration. It took China a total of a year and a half to put the modules of its station into orbit. Tiangong consists of a base module and science modules. The docking operation was given a rather short time because the batteries in the module have a limited charge. Had the docking not taken place in the first hours, Mention would have to deploy solar panels to recharge and go for docking several days later. And then, a telescope, a cargo mission, and a ship crew would be sent to the station. Tiangong was the world's third multi-modular manned orbital station, after Mir and the ISS, but smaller in size. The best Halloween video from KIMLAB. Not all robot companies started making a Halloween video this year, but that's a good thing, because one video from KIMLAB, a kinetic intelligent machine lab run by Professor Jo-Young Kim of the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, would have outclassed him all the way. And by the way, who does this RoboPod with the doll's head remind you of? Let us know in the comments. And check out our community over on Instagram. But before you go there, subscribe to the Pro Robot channel, like this video, and don't miss any new episodes from the world of high tech.